How you doing, good people? This is the 8-Bit Animal, and today we're going to talk about a basketball game. Random aside, y'all remember when Fergie sang the national anthem at the All-Star game that year? And at the very end of her singing that very weird rendition of the Star Spangled Banner, she just blurted out, "Let's play some basketball." Sound like the old dude from Family Guy. Anyway, today's basketball title was developed by ACOM, the same team that handled Hoops for Jalico and Ultimate Basketball for American Sammy. And you can tell, because as we discuss this further, you'll see elements of all three games kind of fold into themselves as I talk about today's game, which was released between Hoops and Ultimate Basketball. It was published by Vic Tokai, who didn't really do a lot of sports stuff here in the States. Don't know if they published a bunch of sports stuff outside of the States either, though. Whatever. It's a okay basketball game, but let's get into it. Today, we're going to take a look at All-Pro Basketball. Now, All-Pro Basketball, like I said, was developed by the same team that did Hoops and Ultimate Basketball. And right away, you see the influence that Hoops had on this title, because it uses the same title screen music as Hoops. There's the vertical scrolling, the same as Hoops. The only difference is this game is full court, not half court, which means that when you cross half court, there's a pause and the play field rotates a bit, and yeah, you're still going up, and that's jarring. And now it's turned a lot of gamers off. At one point, though, this game was heralded as a great alternative to Double Dribble, which I don't know why you need an alternative to Double Dribble, because Double Dribble was fantastic. It still is. But in this game, you play as one of 8 teams. The New York Slicks, because it rhymes with Knicks. The Chicago Zephyrs, because Chicago's the windy city, and the Zephyr is a wind. The Boston Redcoats. That one should be self-explanatory. Los Angeles Breakers, because it rhymes with Lakers. Dallas Stallions, because horses. The Phoenix Wings, because Phoenix is a bird and the bird has wings. The Seattle Sonics, because they got lazy because the NBA team was the Supersonics. And the San Francisco Bay Riders, which also feels kind of lazy because San Francisco's in the Bay Area. However, I can't really tell the difference between the teams as a whole, but they do have player stats and all that, and you can stat track. There's a password screen so you can keep track of your win-loss record. There are cutscenes when you go in for dunks. If you're by yourself, there's the screen that kind of looks like a faster, fully animated version of the Double Dribble dunk animation, one of them at least. And if there's someone there to challenge your dunk, it goes to a cutscene that looks kind of like the ones from Hoops. And again, this is an okay game. Just that thing where you cross court and all that, that's a bit jarring. The difficulty is turned up to 11 because computer defense is stifling. And it can and will turn a lot of gamers off, unfortunately. But this game, for what it is, and it was a basketball game released in the 80s for the NES, it's not a bad game. And while some of the play mechanics and some of the graphical tricks have aged terribly, there's still a lot of fun to be had with All Pro Basketball. Now, if you decide you want a copy of All Pro Basketball, you can get one for a song. Or more succinctly, you can get one for under $10. Like, it's that simple. It's a sports game. And on the NES, even back then, sports games, because a lot of them are out in the wild, you can get a sports game pretty cheap. So, yeah, you can get a copy of All Pro Basketball for about $10 or less. And honestly, if you like sports games and you were a fan of NES sports games particularly, you should give it a shot. But this has been the 8-Bit Animal, and I'll catch you beautiful people tomorrow. Tomorrow, we take a special look at the shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a man who does not exist.